How you doing, Willie?
Hey, what's going on with you, brother?
Hey, I got some good things happening. So, at the recommendation of another person who's involved in the justice impacted world, her name is Mariah Wilberg. She's been to prison. She's an advocate for those things. She's also an advocate for people living with HIV, as it revolves around her personal story as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, I'm involved in a campaign with her to end stigma and shame.
Right.
And just other advocate uh, avenues that I've been a part of in the past few years now, 2.5 since I've been out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, she reached out to me about this position as a community health worker in the
Mm-hmm.
transitions clinic,
Okay.
which is responsible for linking people getting out of prison with healthcare. It's
All right.
also advocating for them. It's also there's mentorship involved. It's that overall helping somebody ease out of prison. The avenue is healthcare, but you know that words are everything. So when you got somebody in your space, building them up in some capacity is definitely something that they're looking for. Anyhow, I ignored it actually for about 3 weeks.
Mm.
And then she followed back up with me and said, "Hey, did you apply for that position?" And I said, "No, I did not." And she said, "I don't want to twist your arm, but if you were to do it, I'd put in a recommendation for you, etc." So that was Friday. I got my resume together. Actually, she helped me with my resume. She helped me with my resume and my cover letter, and she put some really professional touches on it that
Right.
I wouldn't know how to word. So I'm thankful and appreciative in that respect for that. I put in my application Sunday night. Monday, they called me. But well, no, they emailed me and asked for times I would be available. Anyhow, I had a phone interview this morning. Like I said, that was Sunday night. Monday, I heard from them. Tuesday, I got the phone interview, the initial phone interview. And Thursday at 10 a.m., I have my second interview with their team. And so, as I understand, it's stages of interviews. This would be the second one. But they sound interested. I laid it all out there, let them know what my crime was, let them know what my background was. More importantly, I let them know what I was doing with my life now, and
Mm-hmm.
just being able to articulate that. One
Right.
thing they said, as far as like the organizations like PLP, the Aliveness Project, working with Eli over at the ACLU and the
So they
Smart.
knew of him. So they knew of Eli too.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, actually, Eli wrote me a letter of recommendation.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and so anyway, all of these avenues. She said, "So you did you get paid for these things?" And I'm like, "No, this is all volunteer." So anyhow, I've been doing the work just because it's a passion and it's something that people can get paid for. And I never would have put those two together.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm in this situation, and I feel like I feel it. I feel like it's a natural fit. Like Pops was just saying, he said when he read the thing, he said like it's tailored for you.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like it is something that is going to be a building block for my contribution to the world. And
Yeah.
so,
Yes.
with that being said, thoughts, energy, and effort towards it. I hope it pans out, and I have a feeling that it will. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's yours too, man. Go on and claim it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah,
But
I,
but I
I claim
but I
it.
think it's
Feel it.
yours though, man. It just seemed like everything pushing you in that
Yeah,
direction, and it's just a formality, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's just a formality, but yeah. So I can't wait to
yeah,
hear from you after Thursday, man. And
yeah.
what is it? Is it seven figures? What they paying?
No, you know what though? I did ask him for $26 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would think
Ain't bad.
you would at least, yeah, ask
Your salary
for that. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have went a bit higher, just because I've learned from over the years, dealing with HR, that you always you always let folks know what you're worth, because if you don't, then they'll attach their own value to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well
no
said.
one knows your self-worth better than you do. So, you put it out there, and you put it high, and and it falls right where it should. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
But just knowing you like I do and hearing you speak and everything, brother. I just think they have a valuable asset, and I just and yeah. I'm happy for you. Although if I was counseling you, you would have put it a little bit higher than
Yeah.
than what you did. You know what I mean? I think you worth all that and more. But you know what though? Once they see you and see your value, they're gonna raise it up for you. You know what I mean? They're gonna understand what they have in you, and I think everything is gonna happen like it's supposed to happen,
Yeah.
and in
I
due
believe.
time. You know what I mean?
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, and one thing that anytime anybody will listen to me, I advocate for lived experience
Yeah.
mattering in the workplace.
That's
And
right.
so I'll be serving people, which is a passion, but I'll be doing it with my lived experience. And for that alone, that deserves to be paid for at
Oh,
higher
and
wages in
ain't no
most
question.
countries.
Ain't no question, man. And they're going to see just how 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 much of an asset you're going to be. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to see that leadership, and it's going to come shining through, man. And yeah, man. I mean, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, man. We just, you are one more brother, man, who has who has um embraced leadership out there, man, and it's just one other way now we can provide services to each other. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I talk about that all the time, man, because I think it's critical. You know what I mean? We always say we're the help we've been waiting for, and ain't nobody else coming, man. And this is how we realize that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? About what you doing, what Eric doing, what I'm doing, what Richard doing, what Eli is doing, what Edeniah is doing, what you see what I'm saying? And we know, and hey, brother, yeah, and if we keep doing it, man, then at some point we're going to look around and see we are truly all we need, because we've have worked to create that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there won't be no isms, no racisms, no sexisms, and this and all this, because everything we need, we will be able to give it to each other.
Yeah. The whole
You know
time
what
you were
I'm saying?
talking, I heard you say, "Can you dig it?" And I was
Right.
saying,
That's
"Yes,
right.
I
Can
can."
right. Suckers, can you dig it? Right.
Wow.
Right.
Right. That's good feedback, Will. And I'm excited for you, man. Absolutely. So they still visiting over here, Will, from your feedback. And it's true, man. We got people moving into these positions.
Right.
It's pretty beautiful in some ways to get to have pop guys in these positions that can be helpful and moving our own agenda along. I think Will said it so well, and it's just a beautiful thing, man. I want to say Eric is on. I want to say last week at the testing site, Eric's wife was there, Miss
Yes,
Tammy,
you was.
and Miss Tammy, she was excellent, and our whole team was just excellent. I mean, we got like a crackerjack team, Will, and to be honest with you, well, and let me just say,
Crack Jack T.
you know, it's crackerjack when the city came and knocking on our door and said, "Hey, would y'all like a contract to keep doing this?" Now
Right.
we weren't asking for no money.
Right.
Just like what you were saying, though, we didn't care. We was just trying to help some pop guys get well, and from that turns into a contract for service. And so there's a little $14,000 contract. We just signed off on it today. And, for those volunteers, we already been paying them. So they was asking, they said, well, can we pay your volunteers? I said, well, yeah.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
They're Cracker Jack.
Right. Right. We worth that.
They worth that. And so, they always be asking me, is Will coming? I'm like, I'm hoping, and so, but anyway, so from now on, I think, watch this. We're just giving, the contract allows for 28. Yeah, I think we went low, Will.
Oh, there you go with that. I just talked to Marseille about that.
We went too low, Will. We should have consulted you first, but I think what we got is about $20 or something like that an hour for our adult volunteers, and then $17 for Boys of Hope. No. I don't hear nobody saying nothing.
Right, hey, that's beautiful. Hey, Pop. That's good.
I don't hear nobody saying nothing, but and that takes some pressure off of me in a little bit, because our Boys of Hope dollars have run out. You know what I mean? But we've been continuing to continue to do that work and to continue to stipend. Just because the money runs out, we're not running out. And so, but it's helpful, and we are really grateful for that. So Tammy came on last week, and she was a little bit nervous, but she was our collector. That was great.
Yeah.
And we may have her and James work there next week. That'll be a good team. But man, I just want you to mention to Tammy that we're so grateful, and she did such a professional job, Eric. Right? She was just, sister on point. She seemed like she was a healthcare professional herself. You know what I mean? And so we love that, Eric, and just give her all our high regards.
Sure will, Shane. Sure will.
Yeah. And then look, Dan Lee has jumped on. I love seeing his face, and he got that concerned look, you know what I mean? But hey, it's good, Dan. We just love to see you, man, and holler at you a little bit. Jim Reason is on. Jim is going to be volunteering with us next week, I believe, over at the testing site for everybody that has family or friends. We're testing next week again, Saturday, 11 to 3. As many people as you can bring them through, or send them our direction. And now I'm starting to reach out. Got my brother coming and trying to get some of my family, my blood family members. If I can, them Negroes is tough, boy. But I'm gonna just see what I can. I'm gonna see what I can do, and just put it out there. Daniel, why don't you do a check-in and let us know what's happening with you, brother?
All right. First and foremost, man, I want to just thank you, Shane, for having this meeting. It's good to always tap in with my fellow brothers from Power of People. Things are going well for me. I faced some difficulties last week, but this week things are looking up and up. Like I mentioned before, the week before last, I'm expecting my first daughter in 2.5 months. So just doing some planning with that, staying positive. And like I said, just happy to be here. And I just appreciate you facilitating these conversations each and every week, just to give people such as myself a place to always stay grounded, always put some substance in my life, and just give me some things to think about.
That's good, man. Yeah. And Dan, were you able to kind of solve things with your agent and kind of move that whole thing forward a bit?
Yeah, things. I think oftentimes I put more thought into things than I need to, and things are going well. Actually just spoke with my agent today, met with my agent, did a home visit with my agent. I'm back at home with my kids.
Great. Hey, that's that right there. Yep. That's all right.
Back at home with my kids right now. getting everything worked out so that I can re-enter into some type of program like a mental health chemical dependency program. We're getting that worked out this week.
Right.
I just went and completed a Rule 25. So just doing the things that I need to do to stay on track, and just meeting all the accountability requirements with my agent.
Right.
And you know, just trying to go with the flow. Just trying to go with the flow of things, because it's a lot easier to go with the wind than to go against it.
Good, good, excellent, man, excellent. I'm encouraged by that. Well, Jim, why don't you check in real fast? Are you there? If not, Eric, why don't you jump in?
Again, last week I was talking about getting that whole pension thing going. I got a letter saying that they're gonna start me at the start of next month. So that's taken care of. I got all my medical stuff in place. I got one more regular general pharmaceutical plan to get in place, but I can get that before the weekend. I'll be set to move on with all the health care and pension, and got other stuff at the banks as far as investments and all that. So I'm good, man. Health is looking good. And I'm looking forward to this Saturday coming up. So,
hey, y'all give James a little hand for getting this pension check. Sometimes, we work and, we don't mess around and work long enough to get a pension check. You know what I mean? And then we get in the late show and, this and that. And then we don't have income, right? And we trying to live in and live off of. I wait for all the amens to die down.
All right.
But now, Jim is setting the bar high for us, letting us know that you can work 20 years, 15 years, 30 years, and obtain that pension check and Social Security and investments and go to the mailbox and pick up your paper. That's all right.
Yeah, that's what I was after, man.
Yeah, good.
So I'm a happy man now, and I got some music projects I'm working on, and just to get all that, because I couldn't really get into that the way I wanted to without the other stuff in place. But now I got all that in place and have some peace of mind that I can dedicate to the music.
All right, good. And Eric, give us a check-in.
Hey man, everything's good. Just conquering down, trying to stay out this cold. But right now I'm out here at a coffee shop waiting for my wife because she had a sign-in to do. So I just thought I'd tune in while I wait for her, have a hot chocolate. Things are good, man. I can't complain. Things are all right.
Hey, well, leave the door. Yeah, but Hey, wait a minute. Now, so Tammy got a what? She got a what?
A sign-in. Oh, she also one of her side jobs is she do signings for closings.
Oh yes, right.
And then she does taxes. She also is a notary, and so she's utilizing all those skills she got. So right now she's at the signing doing the closing. So I'm gonna sit here for just a minute. I'm gonna start walking back to the car. Left the car parked outside the people's house, and I just walked to the coffee shop.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Hey Eric, I'm so encouraged by that. Now just since we're talking about, hey Volley, what's up? Just Duval just walked in. He's looking all slim and trim. Look at him. He about a 32, 33 inch waist. Hey, look, man, this is beautiful. But now just Wayne might put up her tax service, just since we're talking about her. Tammy Washington, Eric's wife, is doing taxes. She's a master. She's a notary, and she's all of that in the bag of chips. So Duval said he needed done. He's over here saying, where's the number?
So we have the number. Give her a call.
Here go. Take a picture of the screen real fast with your phone, and then you have the number. And that's Tammy Washington, and we want to support her and everything like this here. While I'm talking about that, remember next Saturday is a pop testing, COVID-19 testing. Come on out. While I'm telling you that, we're also working on a vaccine, a way to get involved in distributing the vaccine. There's a matter of fact, there's a grant in front of us right now, and I'm just kind of getting my thoughts together about the grant. It's due on March the 8th. We're going to submit something. Part of what the submittal is about is working with people who are in, hey, Sherrod, look, Sherrod, give Sherrod a hand. We've been worried about it. Listen in action. Sherrod just walked in the door, and look, and I'm feeling good about that. And so we're working on trying to get men who are coming home from prison in those transitional houses, right? 180, Damascus, all them places. We tried to knock on their door to get tested. They turned us down. And we were discouraged by that. We thought that they would welcome it, but it was upsetting their business model. The business model is, here's a guy coming home, we getting paid for that bed. We don't want to hear nothing about no COVID because that upsets the model. You know, then I got to quarantine. People can't go to work, you know, all of this and that and the third, but it was compromising the health of the men and even their own staff. But people were still trying to be stuck in their own ways and not realizing the pandemic was real. It wasn't just on TV. So as a matter of fact, they'll take Tierra to tell you this, but the 3 places that we went to contact to partner with us turned us down. And I mean, not in no uncertain terms, like, you Negroes get on out of here with that. You get it. And each one of those facilities had outbreaks, and they all had to shut down and go into quarantine.
Oh.
Right. Over on Columbus, where Willie Hardeman's at. What's the name of that? Teen Challenge, something. Teen Challenge, the chemical health place that got shut down. Example. So now what we're trying to do is say, well, look, okay, we got the vaccine. As I'm using Tierra's words, the vaccine is like crack. So see, the vaccine, if you don't want it, get the vaccine. Who got the vaccine? We do. We do. That's what we're trying to do. So that's the whole idea of it is that we can float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. So we are gonna propose that we test. Even look here, I'm gonna put in there that we test everybody in the county jail. I had to bring the sheriff in. We had to partner with the sheriff. All this and that. I love that kind of stuff, right? And then sit down there with them and say, "Yay, what's up? Well, Sheriff, this is what we, here's what we do. Here's what you got. Your job is to hold until court. My job is to keep them safe. Let's work together." You get it? What's in it for me? What's in it for you? That's called quid pro quo. Yeah, it's a legal Latin term. What's in it for me? What's in it for you? And when you take that kind of approach to things, even in your personal relationships, it sometimes makes things a little bit easier because everybody is trying to get something out of the deal. I'll wait for all the amens to die down.
Absolutely.
And so, long as somebody's getting something they need out the deal, and you getting something you need out of the deal, that's a good deal. Love you. I love you. Oh, Montez is he got to get out of here, but boy, he's applying for a new job, and we wrote him a letter of recommendation, and we were looking for him to move on up. I want to show you. We just heard from Michael Scales, Big Mike. Y'all, anybody know Michael Scales? Big Mike, he in Lionel Lakes. He a lifer. The boy's trying to get home. He's over here knocking on Pop's door, trying to figure out, can we be helpful to him? I hope we can. Anybody talk to Willie Hardeman? I'm missing him. It's time for him to get back over here. I know it's been cold lately, but we're meeting on Tuesday because of all the guys that we have in this room right here have been COVID-19 tested. As a matter of fact, 2 of us have been vaccinated. I've had my second shot, and I didn't have no side effects. James, King, what's up, King? Hey, son, how you doing? Yeah, King Mason's in the house, boy. Hey, wait, here you go. Wait, get right here. Give King a hand right there. Give him something. Right, all right. Yeah. King is in the house. And so just for Eric was asking me this, and what were the side effects of the second shot? You know, for me, there were no side effects. Tier and Wayne had some chills, a little chills, and a little headache type stuff. You know, bless God, I didn't have any of that. And I was just praying for them, but they over all that stuff, and now they forgot they even had it. But I'm just being honest with you, so you know what's going on with this, with the and we had the Moderna, by the way, the Moderna vaccine. Both shots, yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can't switch. If you have Moderna, you can't switch to Pfizer. You have to stick with the, yeah. So our hope is we are slowly using our volunteer cadre to get us vaccinated. But this grant that I'm working on is a bigger thing that allow us to get right with the vaccine itself. So that's what we got going on. I want to. I got a few guys in the house. I wanna let check in. Duval, Tremont. That's me. I call him that. He in the house, you know, and plus his mom had been sick. He went down and visited her, and she seen all her children came and lifted her back up off that bed. So I'm gonna let him give us a check in and tell us how he been, because he been missing for some weeks. So go ahead, brother.
All right, y'all doing, Duval?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate all the prayers and all that stuff too, because a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a type of person. You know, me and my mom is like Bonnie and Clyde. So when I heard her talk and speak, she wasn't herself. So my brother was already missing, and she was going through a lot of stuff. I don't know what a heart. See, but people understand when a child is gone out of your life. For my mom, how I was brought up, we love my mom. So when that had happened, he was missing. Then he missed for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. Then 10 days went on. Her heart had betrayed it. It just like it broke. So she got to exaggerating on stuff like from the project days in 1990. Oh man, they killed my son and all that. She was going through a zone. And it made me sad because I don't play that. So I hit 911 on everybody, all my brothers and sisters, even though we don't communicate with each other. We came together and we was floating out there. Yeah. We got there in over 6 hours. That's how fast we was going. I'm just saying, this is about my mama. This is my mama. So, I mean, the prayers, man, I'm talking about my family is it's a lot of cops and stuff. And they had to push her to the hospital because they said she had 1 more hour, she would have caught the heart attack. And that was, you know what I'm saying, the stress. Well, stress will kill you, especially for us black people, man. I'm telling you, I'm a witness because I did it before. I stressed until I lost all my weight. But I'm back now, baby. I'm back. And my mama is well. I appreciate y'all, man. You know, especially my brother Willie. We found my brother where he was, and it surprised all of us. He was in Miami. How did he get there? We don't know, but she's talking to him and she's sending him money, and that's where he want to stay, you know. And man, it's a beautiful thing. God is in our life, man. You know, I got a chance to talk to my brother yesterday. He's been in prison since '93. Right. I got a chance to talk to him. He's going back to court. Everything is looking good for him too, also, you know. Right. And we're just keeping that prayer, man. It's just something we got to do. We got to keep that prayer. Amen. You know, so I mean, I thank y'all, man.
Give him some love. Give him a little love. Well, it's good to see you, though. And the job is all right.
Oh, it's beautiful. Job is cool.
All right, here goes Sherrod over here now. He's down the street. I'm gonna have to move him up here. Sherrod, move up so we can get you on the screen in here. Sherrod, we've been worried about him. Because we ain't seen him or heard nothing from him. You know, he ain't checking in or nothing. We don't know if he got a place, if he, you know, sleeping in the car. What that boy doing, we don't know. Go ahead and check in.
Well, I'm good. Been working,
Right.
trying to keep up with these bills,
Mm-hmm.
Shop is kind of, it's in and out.
Mm-hmm.
People doing what they do, but I, still doing construction. So
Mm-hmm.
everything, trying to keep the bills together with that stuff.
Right.
Other than that, just been working late, working 5:30, 6 o'clock at night,
Wow.
Doing fire damages and water damages and on call for that type of stuff.
Oh
So,
yeah, that 24 hours.
yeah. So that crazy type of stuff. Just been kind of tired,
Sit back here.
been meaning to check in.
Yeah.
Haven't checked in.
Thank you though for checking in.
Bogus for that.
Mm-hmm.
Real bogus for that.
Mhm.
But other than that, everything good. Everything good.
You looking good. I'm so glad to see you, man. I be worrying out. I don't know what it is, but like some days will go by, and then a name just come on me though. Man. Then I start zoning on it. Now Sherrod, y'all call had Wayne and them start calling. Call Sherrod. Call Esau Strawberry Newman, who done slid up in here all late. Yeah. He's masked up like Zorro, you know what I mean? Looking like the Lone Ranger and Tonto. But I was a little bit worried about you, man, because I could feel you had a lot of stress on you. That's what Duval was just talking about.
Yeah.
Stress is a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you was trying to hold yourself up and hold the boys up and juggle that relationship. It's a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and I could feel it. I could feel it in my own body, kind of like viscerally. So I'm just glad to see you, man. I'm glad to see you. And you got a nice a sweatshirt on. Open up your coat so we can see. Is this one of your productions?
Yeah, this one of them.
Uh-oh. What's it say
I
there?
thought it was so definite.
No, circles and squares, man. Keep squares outside your circle.
Keep squares outside your circle. Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a hit mess.
I like that.
I actually
Circles and squares.
talked to Will
Mm-hmm.
like probably I think a week and a half ago. I was at work.
Good.
It was this young guy there that wanted to try to proceed with the carpentry.
Right.
And I overheard Will saying that he worked up at Summit.
Yeah.
So I gave Will a number and called Will and asked could I give him a number. Will told me yes. So I don't know how that worked out, but
Well, Will, how did it work out? Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, so so I haven't heard from him yet, but when I do, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's good, Will. Yeah, that's a good hookup, y'all. But here go Esau. He done slid up in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us a check in, Esau.
So I left at 5:25.
Left where?
My apartment.
Yeah.
I had to take my auntie's glasses to her apartment, which is on parking Lake Street, so not too far.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she lived on the 11th floor. I was like, should I just keep going? I was like, I'm here. I could just, but I was like, you know what? Let me go up to 11th floor.
Right. Yeah.
She's 79.
No.
Oh man, Dad, honey, let me put my shoes on. That was another 5 minutes. And I asked her, listen, can I just go up there and just drop them off? She's like, yeah, you've been here a minute.
Right.
So, but that's what I've been doing now.
Right,
that's my role. My dad passed that on to me to take care of my auntie and my granny.
That's his sister?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. His sister and his mother, his stepmother, but his mother had pretty much raised them.
Sure.
And so, they 84 and 79. They step siblings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So on average, when I
Mm-hmm.
take them places, it's about 2.5, 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
That's how it is. Yeah, that's
Oh,
all
for
right.
sure,
Yeah.
man.
I was like, man, if I didn't learn patience before, I got it down pat now.
Yeah.
Man, and I help, I stay, they want to go every hour. Like every hour. All right, cool, because we're gonna go to Cold North because they got a few hours right now. They ain't fully loaded.
They ain't fully loaded. Right.
So
yeah, that's smart thinking.
yeah, it's like learning how to be responsible for other people and fulfill, the obligations or promises that was bestowed upon me,
Absolutely.
So taking care of them, I'm like, man. So when I went home, about 4, I was out. I laid
know.
down. I was out. So I
Your
got up.
sister gave you a nap, huh?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
That's good.
But school's going good.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
almost finished though,
Yeah,
right?
I took the semester off after my dad passed away.
Right.
This my mind wasn't really like, because it's creative writing and creative thinking and
Yeah.
coming up with movie ideas. I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm gonna go back in the fall and September. I should be finished.
Man, that's
So
good.
yeah.
Give him some love. Give him some love.
So,
I want to just, that is reminding me that tomorrow there is a forum. It's online, just a Zoom forum on the healing of Black men. It's tomorrow. This is it right here. It's right on the board. It says healingjusticefoundation.org, Forum for the Affected by Criminal Justice System, February 17th. That's tomorrow from noon to 3 on Zoom, African American led discussion. We have a few of ours are paid note takers for this forum. I think Macklemore and Darius are professional note takers for this forum. And so we're going to be watching it here, Tierre, Wayne, and I. But take down that information or do a photo of it if you're available during that time, and you might not be able to stay in the whole time, but if you got lunch from noon to 1 or noon to whatchamajigger, you can just be in for a little bit. But we like everybody that can participate to try and participate. Wayne may be able to flash that information on the screen. I'm not sure. If he doesn't now, we'll work on that. And because the information is on the screen now, I believe. And so take a look at that if you're able to. Then go ahead and zoom in on this. This Zoom thing is, part of me is I'm grateful that it exists. The other part of me though is tired of it. I want that connection. I want that touch. And so that's what takes me back to the vaccine. Because if you're looking at the TV, if you're looking at the numbers, I don't know why this stuff is on me. I pay close attention to the vaccine and the numbers. Now, right now, the COVID numbers are dropping. The vaccine numbers are rising. Now the vaccine, listen, the vaccine can't keep you from catching it. But the vaccine can keep you from being hospitalized or becoming deceased as a result of catching it. You get it? And that's like a bad cold or flu, which can be deadly if it's, if you let it get the best of you. So this is the nuance of the vaccine. I was mentioning the last week to Eric to look at the model that Israel used. Last week I told you about it, but it's 95% of the entire nation of Israel is vaccinated, both shots. 95%. They've opened up their beaches, they're opened up their shopping and other things as if they were back to normal because they have 95%. They weren't playing. They made a purchase. They used their senses to calculate how much vaccine they needed. They went right to Pfizer and bought enough vaccine for every man, woman, and child in the nation in one shot. So they went right at it, and unlike America, which is now going to close in on 500,000 deaths. I mean, more than World War I and II and Vietnam put together. So anyway, I'm saying that this vaccine is so critical to get to it. Testing is great not to ever get it in the first place. That's where testing is concerned. So you can rule out, the idea now is to rule out that you have it by testing, but then move toward the vaccination, right? Yeah. Am I making sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do. Check in on that healing forum. If you got a chance to, Daniel, if you're able, see if you can check into that healing forum. Just see what it is, and
I am able. I am able, Brother Price, and I'm going to check in with that. I said 12 to 3. I'm available tomorrow, and so I think that's a very important topic. You know, I know in my transition over the past 17 months since I've been released, you know, there's been a great deal of there's been some challenges that I've faced, and I think the healing part is something that I really need to address myself personally.
Well, you know that, and just don't be afraid of the Buddha in the middle of the road, because the Buddha in the middle of the road is you.
It's myself.
And to the extent that we are frightened of our own reality, is to that extent we remain confused about it. Right? You know, watch this. Now watch this, and I'm just telling you the truth. I probably use more drugs and alcohol than any 3 or 4 you put together. But and I never went to treatment ever once. But watch this. But one day, somebody say one day.
One day.
I decided. That's it. So one day I decided I wasn't getting high no more, never. I decided one day. Now, to me, I realize that all of this stuff that we're struggling with is really about you making a clear decision. You're going to use or not. You're going to swim or sink. Right? You're going to rise up or you're going to fall down. Which one of these are you going to be? It's based on your ability or inability to make a clear decision, then stick to it. Somebody said like cigarettes.
I
was giving Chris a chance to eat up his chicken, but now it's time to check in. Go ahead. Pull your mask down so we can see what's going on. Show me what you're working with.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Well, let's see. Checking in. It's a new week. With some subtle changes, but changes nonetheless. Or big changes actually. Well, personally, I got my vaccination. I took a vaccine shot. My girl, she was able to get the vaccination at her job because she's an essential worker. You know, she's a dialysis technician.
Right.
And so she was able to get a family member to come in. You know, one person from the family to also get the shot. So she said, well, dude asked me that I want it. Of course, I said, yeah, I want it.
That's right.
So I went and got that done.
Wow.
A lot of times when I don't show up on Saturdays for the pop COVID testing is because our job requires us to do the test also. So on those Fridays, the day before, I always end up getting my test.
That's fine.
So that's what's been going on as far as like COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, my life has been moving in the direction that I've been going, that I've been wanting it to go in. It's just happening so fast. It's happening faster than I anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
And which is good. It's good, but I just wasn't anticipating it moving as fast as it is.
Yeah.
As far as like transitioning back into my family life, back into my home, back into work, building clientele, all that stuff is just coming. It's like pouring in. And I did a lot of work when I was locked up, but also I think a lot of it comes from who I've been affiliated with, and people that's been motivating me and pushing me along, like Tier.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, I never had a helping hand like that in life,
mm-hmm.
to get me to where I'm going.
That's right. That's good.
That quick.
Yeah.
with the right people doing the right thing.
Right.
On time at the right time, the follow through,
Yeah.
back up,
Yeah.
helping you get there.
Yeah.
You know, I just never had that, and it was weird right off the top. And he must have kind of sensed it in me. He said, "I know it's kind of weird, ain't it? You already know me, and I'm out here looking out for you like this. It kind of makes you feel uncomfortable, don't it?" I was like, "Yeah, a little bit." He said, "Yeah, but you know, that's what we need."
Right.
You know, and you know, being men, you know, we want to tend to want to do it on our own, but that helped. And then we got just the Pop organization. Then we got Pop with his reputation, right? So he has a reputation of himself. Then the Pop organization got a reputation. Then me being involved with that gave me credibility to help push me along even further. You know, that I'm saying to myself, I know dang on well, I probably wouldn't be this far if I wasn't affiliated with the Pop House and Pop and the organization.
That's right.
Because they always go back to it. The people that's pushing me along, they always mention the Pop, the Pop organization. They're like, yeah, well, you know, if you're dealing with them, right? So you must be all right, right? Else it wouldn't be going on, right? So, and so like I had this thing that I wanted to do, you know, as far as like, you know, I was then transitioning to the Pop House, and I was wanting to be there for a while. I really wanted to be at the Pop House for a while because I was thinking that I was going to have to be at the Pop House for a while. When I was transitioning to transition home.
Right.
But along with being affiliated with the Pop people, a lot of the things that I was thinking I was going to have to transition to start happening, right? So then, well, just recently, I think I told you guys the rest of the stuff. I was able to get back in my kids' life, visit my kids, like the second day out of jail, which generally would have took down the line, you know, 6 months down the line.
Right.
So then I had been through 2 POs. So one PO co-signed because of Pop. So he told his other PO about it. So that PO knew about Power People and said, okay. So then that PO just told me, well, I just had my wife's significant other, my daughter, my cousins, anybody that was on my support team, I called them up. So call my PO and introduce yourself. And so they did. And my PO wanted to come over and meet my family and everything to see if it was okay for me to move back to the house. And she was just talking on the phone, and so many people called. She's like, same thing that they said when they gave me visitation on my son. They're like, man, Chris really got a lot of people, huh? That love and care for him and support him, huh? She was like, yes. She said, generally I would have to come there to talk to you, but I can just tell by talking to you that you cool. She said he's open to move back home anytime he wants. So that was like, bam, I wasn't expecting that. Not thought the visit was going to have to happen, but the visit never had to take place. It's just word of mouth, just talking. So that's how my life been moving. It's been moving like super fast, catching me off guard, but it's all been positive stuff that I've been asking the Lord for, and he's been delivering to me slowly but surely. And, you know, I talked to Pop a while back. I was like, well, I want to accomplish something before I leave the Pop House. You know, it's important to me. And, you know, I really want to, but at the same time, of course, I want to be at home. But so, like, one of the main things Tierra was telling me, and Pops was telling me, like, well, you know, you got that car. You know, and it was good that you had just got through saying that thing. You know, you made that conscious decision that, you know, hey, I'm about to be done. You know, and like, what you saying is like, no more games. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I got a nice car sitting in the back of my house with my name, you know, that's been there before I even went to jail. That my family kept for me. But it's like, no, you know, I'm not at a point where I would be tempted to drive it because that means I'm about to start playing games. Right? And it's like no games right now, you know, and that would only set me back. So I'm not trying to get set back. And I just want to really try because no matter how much money I ever had in the past and how much I tried in the past, nothing never worked for me as quick as it has this way.
Wow.
I never got as far along in life as fast as I have
Wow.
this way.
Wow.
So I'm trying to stick to this
Stick
way.
to it.
You know,
Stick to it.
that's my check-in.
Man, give him some love. Yes. So then real quick, on the car piece, I just feel like, that's something that you need to put it behind you. Get them whatever you got to do, whatever state you got to settle with.
Yeah.
Build up your bank and settle with it.
Right.
And then I'm just gonna tell you, just be honest with you. Every man has got to have a horse.
Right.
And if your horse is right outside the door,
Right.
you will be tempted to drive, and it will be a game. But the truth of the matter is, if you can give yourself the time enough to get it done right, so you can drive without looking behind your rear view mirror and believing that, slipping and slide and all of that, it just one thing leads to another. I believe you can do it. So Chris is moving out. Are you out of there yet?
Yeah. No, not.
He's not out of there yet, but he's gonna move out by March the 1st, and I'm fine with that. He hasn't paid any rent or anything like that, but maybe we're gonna just have him pay the $150 deposit, just so that he made a contribution. Everybody, this and that, but we're not asking him for nothing. He was there for a short time. How long you been out now?
I mean, the 12th was 30 days.
Wow, man. Give him a hand, man.
Yeah. So all this happened in.
I'm gonna tell you, this is what it was. This is how when I first came home, and things started happening like that too, right? To me, I likened it to playing double dutch.
Right.
Now I was in prison, so I was jumping single rope. Coming out here, you got to jump double.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the
good.
speed thing.
That's
It's
good.
like everything speeded up, and so you
Right.
wasn't anticipating things happening so fast. Just like me, I wasn't anticipating some of the things happening so fast.
Right.
That's why I consciously made a decision: slow down. Make sure all these things are happening, but you control the pace.
That's good. That's
Right.
good.
You control the pace. If it's something you're not comfortable with, just say it. Hey, listen, I appreciate that. I'm just not comfortable with that just now. Okay, so I'll pass on again the rain check. And that's it.
That's great advice. That's great feedback right there, bro. And I'm looking over here at Esau Strawberry, a free Negro. All them chains is off of him, the shackles is off his feet and everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how does it feel, son, to be a free man?
Man, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Vegas.
You going to Vegas? They gonna let a free man in Vegas. Oh my God.
And I was this person was just me and my brother. And we said it out loud at Duval's son's birthday party.
Yeah.
And then my sister wanted to go.
Oh God.
And her, sit there.
Oh Lord.
I was like, dang, now it's like half the family going to Vegas. We celebrating your birthday. No, y'all ain't. No,
be careful.
Yeah. Everybody got plane tickets.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, be careful now. What's done in Vegas have to stay there. Hey, but I swear, man. How long I've been messing with this boy, I don't know, but he's free. This boy is free. He gonna vote. Everything. Give him a big old hand, man. Y'all don't know this, but I got the Godfather of Soul on the telephone right now. I know he probably tried to call in, but it might have slipped him. But Curtis, the Godfather of Soul Harris, is on the line right now. Curtis, can you hear me? Go on and give us a check-in and let us know how you doing, Kurt.
Oh man, I'm doing okay. As you know, I got the dialysis, and periodically, they take an ounce more than they should, so that leaves me a little tired. But I'm like that Energizer Bunny Rabbit. I charge up pretty quick. I was trying to get there, but I had another appointment, a legal appointment with an attorney.
Right.
So I didn't want to hang out in the cold too tough,
Right.
So
no, that's right.
I just want to tell them know that I miss you every time that I'm not there.
No, Kurt.
And, I'm always thinking about you, and my prayers always with the group,
wow.
and with each individual, And Shane, I just want to congratulate you, man, more than you know, because the guys coming out to join you that beacon of light, man. Yeah, you that fog light.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, got something to look at. They got something to see, some type of direction.
Yes, sir.
And you got infinite wisdom.
I appreciate
how to
that.
stay out
Wow.
here.
Wow. Man, but
All y'all know I love you dearly.
yeah, we miss you. We'll miss and love you as well, man. And let me ask you, did you get your COVID vaccination yet?
Yeah.
You got?
Yeah. You know, we was down there. She called me and told me I was negative.
You got your test back.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me ask you, have your building contacted you about getting the actual vaccine?
Yes, they did.
Okay, what's the deal?
And also the dialysis place asked me about the vaccine. I told her I'm waiting for the one-shot deal.
Johnson & Johnson?
Yes, one shot.
Yeah, they got a one-shot deal. And I don't know too much about Pfizer and the rest of that, and I'm kind of comfortable with that company. Put it that way, because I kind of grew up with them, you know.
Oh boy! Just because you use that baby powder, don't be trying to. Don't be trying to act like you know them people, boy. Yeah. Hey, but look here. The lady told you they had Johnson & Johnson?
No. She didn't say that they had them. I told her
you wanted it.
Yeah, because I'm waiting for it because they're pending.
Yeah,
and I think
that's
the
right.
president gonna let them. They have to because now they got more people in need than they got vaccines available. So Johnson & Johnson was what you may call a resource, you know. And they got and so they tested out and everything. And the people say they got a good vaccine, you know.
But Curtis,
what their vaccine is guaranteed is that you don't get sick and you don't die.
Right, amen. But listen at this, and don't wait around for Johnson & Johnson. Now, if somebody call you with the Pfizer or the Moderna, jump on it. Don't wait for Johnson & Johnson because this thing really, the virus don't wait. And so if the virus jump on you, it's not going to wait around to see if you made up your mind or not. You want to take the first train smoking, man. Keep your mind open to either of those other two because they work too.
Yeah.
All right.
I just thought that's a 2-shot deal though, right?
Right. Yeah. It's a 2-shot deal. I've had 2 and Wayne has had 2. Tier's had 2. And Chris Sherman here has had 1. Jim Reason has had 1. He's got his second one set up. Eric has had 1. His wife has had 1. So we're slowly moving down the list. So if someone calls you, one of your healthcare workers, like your diabetic clinic, they would be able to make you 1A, right? And you're over 65. And so this would put you right there. Take the first shot smoking. Don't wait around on Johnson & Johnson just because you had that baby, old boy. Hey, I love you though. And you know what, man? You called me on Valentine's Day, and brother, that really touched my heart, man. And I really appreciate it. I had a busy day. I didn't get a chance to call you back, but it did impact me greatly. And I was so grateful to hear your voice and that you gave me these well wishes.
Oh, brother. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, any days is loaded with these sentiments, man. You always come to mind.
Well, I appreciate it, man. But look here, man. I got a few brothers on the line here. I got Will. Will, you heard Curtis here. Can you holler at Curtis real quick?
We tried to see him Wednesday. Curtis was over his building.
Hey, what's going on, Curtis?
Hi, my brother.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah. You know, we came over there to your building last week. Me, Tier, and Adonaiah, and who was else?
We had Tim with us, our boy of hope.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And we was coming.
Umar.
Yeah, and Umar, man, and we was coming in there to see you man, and got some good news. So we just turned around.
Right. Okay, I appreciate that, brother. It's the intent that counts, so I feel all that.
Yeah, man, but I'm glad you're doing well, brother. And I love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Yeah. Anybody else want to holler at Curtis?
Curtis, we miss you, man. I miss you, man. This is Adonijah. I miss you, man. We was definitely trying to get up in there to see you, man. Yeah. Good to hear from you.
Same here.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
did you take the drafting engineering?
Yes, I did. That's the work that I do. I do that CNC work.
Okay, we got to get together.
Okay.
Because Curtis want to build some more picnic tables, and he want to come over to the pop house. And look, he asked me, Will. He said, well, brother, he said, listen, I just want to know if I could come back there into my workshop and build some more picnic tables back there. And I told him, I said, well, if you feel like making us a new one, then come on over there and build them.
Right.
Hey, Pop,
Go ahead.
This is Umar.
Umar is on the line. What's going on, Umar?
Hey, I just want to holler at Curtis, but my picture won't come up there. I see my name, but my picture won't come up there. Anyway, I just wanted to holler at everybody and let you know that I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I went to a meeting today with a Twin City recovery project.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start going there for NA meetings on Thursday nights.
Is that up on Washington?
It's one on Broadway, 1501 Broadway in the back. That's the one I went to today. They got one on 34th and Lake Street.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing. I just don't have no car to get over there tonight. So I ain't. Hey, how about that big cat that Doug and Fresh got? Woo.
Right.
So you stroking the cat.
Hey, Fresh, what are you doing, son? Son, are you fondling kitties, or what is happening with? There's no kitty fondling during group, son.
Okay, well, I just want to say good evening to everybody, and I love all you guys, man.
Oh, wow.
Kind of keeping me in the
Hey,
straight and
Umar, but
narrow.
you know what? Also, thank you for all the work you've been doing, hitting them flyers so hard and getting our information out to the community. To be honest with you, just think for 1 second, if your flyers save one person's life. I don't care if you handed out 1,000, but if it saved one person, kept one person from going down this ugly road, man, it's all worth it.
One other thing. I go and take my first shot on the 18th.
Now, and were you able to get it through North Point? And actually, Curtis, we probably can get you in at North Point too, because they do have the vaccine right now for 65 and up.
Yes, they called me to this. Matter of fact, about 30 minutes ago, and told me I'm set up for the 18th. So
hey, give Umar a hand. Give him a little hand, because that's a big thing. And that starts to take you out of harm's way, brother.
Yes, sir.
Again, for those of you all who can hear my voice but not believe what I'm saying, look out there at the research and look specifically at the success of the nation of Israel. Now, they love their people. You know how Israel is, the Jews. And you know what look, they spent their money and they hit their people in the arm, and they didn't waste no time, man. They got everything is open like none of this stuff is even happening. So just look, don't believe my voice, but just go on out there and see it for yourself, and come back and let me know what you say. Umar, I'm glad you're getting your first vaccine. And Curtis, we need to try. I'm gonna have Tierra to call you tomorrow to see can we help work on making a appointment for you somehow and get you up there to get your shot.
Okay, tell Umar to prepare to have another fish fry.
Okay, Curtis, I got you, brother.
He heard you loud and clear.
Yes,
and
I think I want to be in on that.
Ananias said he might want to be in on the fish fry.
Yes, sir. That's all.
It was a blast last Uma had, man, it was nice. I'm telling you, Shane, it was.
Oh,
It was something to write home about.
he know what he doing, huh? Hey, look, wait a minute. Fresh. You know, put the kitty down out of mess you up. Fresh, hey boy, we miss you so much. We love you. What's going on, Dougie Fresh? Check in with the Pop guys.
I'm doing all right, Pops.
Yeah.
I've been I just got a lot going on, and I apologize for not missing the group. I miss everybody. I'm doing great. Lily's doing great.
Lily.
Yeah.
She's here somewhere.
All right.
But as you see, we got a new cat. So
all right.
Yep.
All
He's
right, we ain't gonna hold that against you.
That's Pop Cat.
A pop cat. Well, that changed everything. That boy's in now.
Yep.
Okay, but hey, Doug. So the job is going well.
Job's going very well. You know, as y'all know, I work outside, but it's been challenging the last couple of weeks with the cold, but we're making it through. But it's going good. I'm feeling good.
Listen, Doug, I just want to put something on your mind now. Just as a sidebar to what you're already doing, which is good, take a look out online and see what do you really need to do to get your CDLs.
Okay.
Let me just tell you why I'm saying this. Because right now, where you're at is good, but in a minute, when the country starts becoming more and more vaccine, I want everybody to listen at what I'm saying. In order for big money players, billionaires, in order for them to keep making their money, they have to get the country opened up. They have to get it back on its feet in order so that these big businesses can flourish and move at the pace that they're normally used to moving at. And so anytime that you shut down, COVID is operating like a weapon, which have shut down big business in some cases. Some business in war profits. Some, like the healthcare system, is now becoming bigger than they ever were, bigger than the gun making industry. Some businesses will suffer, but every one of these big money corporations wants to get back to business as usual. Anything that is capable of taking business as usual off the table is not a game, it's the real thing. Yes. So you have to recognize when game is being played or when the pandemic is real enough to shut down multinational organizations and organizations from getting their money. Somebody say, get that money.
Get that money.
These people are used to getting $1.5 million a day or an hour, airline industries with no passengers. Flights, this is not what they want to do. So they really were welcoming, to be honest with you, they welcomed Joe Biden because they knew that Joe Biden's administration would respond more effectively to the virus. Now you see that there's a more national consensus about what to do, even in a national order to mask up. Everybody's not obeying it, but those people who are not obeying it continue to put themselves and others at risk. But what he did is they starting to withdraw federal dollars from you if you don't obey the mask up rule. That would change them people's mind in a hurry. In the meantime, I'm just giving you a politics 101 here, but you see that Biden's administration is moving this vaccine around. They done repurchased. They done made some different deals, and they're guaranteeing here. If you look at the 6 o'clock news tonight on YouTube or the PBS nightly news on YouTube, you will see the real things that are taking place, especially on PBS. And they'll show you the whole world, not just Chicago. And but even in Chicago, they trying to get that vaccine in there, man. And so what we got to realize is this vaccine is everything. Now, I said all of that to tell you this. Those people who are ready and primed up to make that money on the other side of the vaccine, they're going to blow up. You know, they're going to blow up.
Pop, could I just say one thing?
Go ahead, say one thing.
Yeah, Dougie, even me, my old butt got my CDL.
Wow.
You know, I got a D license. I just drive a box truck, but I got CDLs.
Right.
And that's all I'm doing right now. I have a Class B.
Yeah, that's what I got. I want to go and try to get the A's, but you know, I'm kind of up there in age now. They might not want to recognize me.
Right. Well, you know, it's you should push the button and see what they say. You could take something part-time because sometimes they need a driver bad. They just need them to be licensed. They don't care if you're 65 or 66 or whatever it is you are. They need a part-time driver to come haul a load and dump some dirt. You know what I mean? And they paying, you know what the money's like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, what I'm saying to you is for people who are ready to get paid on the other side of the virus, this thing is going to blow up. So businesses that like the t-shirt business now, it's done got slower because of all of the stuff. People aren't doing events, but all this stuff is going to come back at some point, right? And being ready to take advantage of that point is what I'm talking about now. So either being ready physically is the first thing. Being ready financially is the second thing. The houses are moving now. The house industry, and I'll stop talking about this after I say this. The housing industry blew up. Let me tell you why. Because people who are trying to move out of the city, trying to move out into the second, third, and fourth tier suburbs, that made that industry hot out there. And so houses climbed up so high, but when it jumps up, it'll come. So it's been a seller's market. Yes. But now when this thing bumps the other way, it's going to turn back into a buyer's market. And if you're ready to buy, you're going to be able to jump in. You see what I'm saying? So now you could be working on your credit, working on these things that are just the grunt work, so that when the thing pops, you will be ready to get in there and take advantage of the opportunity. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on so long. Somebody,
all right. That's on the CDL. That's on the CDL. Yeah.
Pull your mask down for a second.
That's on the CDL to my cousin.
Go ahead. Get
out in Indianapolis, he bought him 2 semis.
Trucks. Wow.
And he grossed $250,000 last year. And he's younger than me,
right.
But he said he don't drive them. He has the drivers to drive them.
Mm-hmm.
He said, and he pays them 40% of the load.
Right.
He said, but the hardest thing about it is finding somebody with CDL.
See there?
He said, man, the drivers is in demand.
Mm-hmm.
And but finding a reliable driver with CDLs is like the hardest thing out there. So he's like,
I wanted to get them.
yeah, anybody that got those.
Their scheduling is so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
They don't it's like if you working a full-time job,
yeah,
they don't make room for you to get to the CDL. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
Weekend
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now I would challenge that thinking because because people are aging out, like Umar talked about. Those people who've been driving for 30, they moving out now.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got to figure out ways to bring in a new population. And so there might be some ways to do it part-time. Just check on it.
The biggest road drivers right now is the people from India coming in and picking up the trucking jobs because
they got their license.
Yeah, because they got their license.
Ain't that something, man?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of Africans.
Yeah, Africans. Yeah, I see a lot of Africans driving in semis. No, it's true, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Them who you see driving in semis now.
Look at Umar. That boy done got online, boy.
I gotta go pick up.
I was online all the time. My picture just wasn't up there, Pop.
And they out of power right now, so she's sending my niece back up here.
Okay, but look at Ananias' niece. He going to the airport to pick her up.
There go my niece right down, baby.
She's beautiful.
Yes,
well, listen, my daughter and grandchildren, they live in Houston. They out of power.
Yeah.
And so they've gone up to the grandmama's house.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to them and stuff just like this here. So man, go on and do
put on the plan.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, man. So before Ananias go, I'm gonna give him the assignment to read the Acts of Faith
Oh,
You
absolutely.
may have the acts of faith right there with you. It should flash on your screen, but I'm gonna have Ananiah read it, and then we're gonna go and reflect on that a little bit.
February 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Now that's Proverbs 4:23. I know that by heart.
That's right.
All right. Queen Ma'at is the gatekeeper of the heart.
Yeah.
It is said that before man can pass on to eternal peace, his heart must be balanced on a scale of Ma'at.
Mm-hmm.
On one side, she will place your heart, the cause behind all of your actions. On the other side, she will place her feather, which contains all the issues of life. If your heart tips the scale, you are banished from a peaceful rest, and your spirit must continue working to cleanse itself. What are you harboring in your heart? Hate, anger, fear, judgment, shame, or guilt will tilt the scale against you.
Wow.
The feather of Ma'at contains truth, honor, justice, harmony, and love, which the ancients believe were the only requirements for a long, prosperous, and peace-filled life. To pass through the gate of Ma'at, you must seek and speak the truth, harboring no ill thoughts or feelings. You must honor the ways of those who came before you. You must deal justly with honesty in all situations and be harmonious in all that you do, seeking no quarrel with anyone and extending only love to others.
Right.
My heart is as light as a feather. Reflection. What can I do today to restore balance to your heart? Excuse me. What can you do today to restore balance to your heart? Who are you overdue to forgive, respect, honor, and love?
Woo, brother, that's good. Give him some love right there. All right. That's good. Yeah, that's powerful right there. So did everybody heard that? And I just want you to reflect on it a minute. I'm gonna give you a minute to reflect on that reading right there. And I appreciate Ananiah looking out for his family and running out to the airport to grab his niece. She's beautiful, man.
Oh yeah, she was in that story that they did for Lucy Laney. When they did that story.
Oh yeah.
She was one of them in that.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, so he's going to grab his superstar niece. She's coming back she in Houston or Dallas?
She in Houston.
That's where my daughter's at, in Houston. I'm gonna tell you, man, Houston. I sent my daughter. Listen to this. I sent my daughter. I don't know why. Well, I sent I bought all my older girls mink coats for the. I have 10 children, so I have 7 girls, and so I bought them all mink coats. And so I sent down to Houston my daughter a mink coat. And she said, Dad, I love this coat, but I just don't know where I'm going to wear it down here in Houston. And so she called me today, Umar, and guess what she was wearing? She looked like she was pretty warm to me. You get it? Yeah, man. There was 6 below. They didn't know what to do. And the truck drivers, them truck drivers down there,
sliding everywhere. They tear up some stuff in Texas when it starts snowing.
Umar, they don't know nothing about no snow emergency techniques. They I hate to see it, to be honest with you, because them pileups look devastating.
They be 30 and 40 cars piled up. It don't be no 1 or 2. It be a bunch of them.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And they drive so fast, pop down in Texas that
they do. I tell you what, you can't have no car down there and have car trouble on the road, because you're in trouble, boy. Them folks be flying. You don't even want to ask nobody for help. But look here, anyway, what I want to say to y'all is this acts of faith was very powerful tonight. And all right, Ananiah, love you, boy. I would like anybody online who wants to jump in and reflect on that, and then I'm gonna go online and then in person, online and in person. So anybody who feels online who wants to take a piece of that, please feel free.
Let me just, no, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Doug.
What I was going to say, Pop, is that, what I can do today is have a non-judgmental heart, and look at people for the good in them, and put aside all my differences that I have with people and accept them for who they are, and give them the love of my heart and pass on the positivity that I tried to portray every day and be sincere, the integrity that I want to walk with, and put the good heart that I believe I have to others and help when in need. I want to be able to help the next person, always pay it forward. I've had so many people help me when I've been down and out in the gutter, all my pop brothers and everything. And, in anytime I can help people out, I try to put it out there, any way I can, whether it's my time, my effort, my muscle, my money, anything that I'm able to, I like to pay it forward, and I like to pay it back if I could, because I'm telling you from my heart, guys, that if it wasn't for the pop guys, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow.
And that's what I want to say.
Hey, give him some love right there. Hey, and Doug, you are from my way of seeing it, everything that you said just then was the truth, and I appreciate that. Somebody either give Doug feedback or jump in on the conversation. Somebody inside.
To me, it's like it's the same thing as God saying, at the end of your life, you judged. Period. It's like you have to deal with all your foulness or fairness or injustice or whatever your life is like.
Right.
She to me, she's basically saying that the same thing that God says. You will be judged at the end of your life.
Right.
And you have to have that balance. Well, that balance beam is going to be there, for everything that you did. But what I like about it is, even if you pass, in this it says that you still can, even in death, you still can fight towards cleanliness.
Oh, that was good. You caught that. Because it says there, that means the soul has to go back and do its work.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good catch, and I appreciate that you caught that. That was excellent. Somebody else throw it in.
Yeah, Papa, I want to say something about that part. All the animosity, the hate, the guilt, and all that was in me until I came to see the pop guys, man. I'm telling you guys that made a different person out of me.
Wow.
And I love being around you guys. I'm telling you. I don't know what I would be doing now if I hadn't met the pop guys. The pop guys saved me, I believe. They're helping me save me.
Yeah, yes, there you go.
Yes.
Making that clear decision about what you want to do. That's right. Umar, we're grateful for those kind words, man, but we're trying to show some love and brotherhood. And we got an evaluator who's evaluating our program right now. And she was saying to me, well, what is the secret sauce? What makes your program work? And I said, well, we love on it. We try to love on each other. And I don't think anybody else approaches it from that perspective.
Yes.
But love is a bold thing. It takes courage to believe. Say believe.
Believe.
Yeah, it takes courage to believe on somebody and give somebody a chance, but to show what they got. But the reward is so rich because each one of y'all who are sitting here, was one place and now you're someplace else. And the place that you're at now is better than the place where you was. And so that took some loving and took some belief. But I appreciate you, Doug, and your efforts and your work. And Duval wants to jump in real quick. Go ahead.
I got one for Doug, man. You know what, Doug? What I see in you, I see in me. When we first met at the Pop House, even though I was over there once before, but you was that kind person. You knew it. I'm telling y'all, Dougie Fresh is one guy. He'll sit there and listen to you. He'll give you anything. I'm a witness. I seen it. He's got a beautiful daughter. He loves his family.
Yep.
He have a kind heart. That heart of his, I'm talking about, is on. I ain't seen nobody like it.
Wow.
Because he won't even. He sometimes need to say no.
Right.
Right, Dougie? But he can't because his heart is too big.
Wow. Wow.
That's my brother. I'm talking about her. My mama even called. Look, she loud today at work. Where my son at? Dougie Fresh at? All loud. Everybody looking around. Put him on the phone right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and he made my mama happy.
Wow. Wow.
You know, and so Doug, keep doing what you do. Don't give it up for nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I love you.
I'm gonna jump in on it and just say that I'm so proud of you for becoming now a homeowner in 2020, and it just shows what can happen. You know, the idea is that when you leave Pop 2, you're ready to buy a house, and now you got Chris Burke. Chris Burke is looking now. Chris Burke said he want a house now. Listen, that's Chris Burke. Say he want a house. And you know what? If you make a decision to get one and sell one to Chris, that's all you got to do is have your credit together and your money down. So Chris is looking now. He got the realtor wanting to come over to the house and talk to him. I said, okay, well, you know, get involved in the discussion because nobody can tell you what you can't do. Somebody else jump in. Online.
Well, it seems like the big message is don't harbor negative issues that occurred already, but move through those, forgive and forget, and get some positive stuff going.
Right.
So
that's it.
Yeah, put the energy where it's going to make a mark, and instead of you know, going into a loop over some wacky stuff that already occurred in the past and causing some more of.
Right. And that's actually, SC James, that's a good word for you because James, y'all know James worked for, what's the name of that organization?
Hired.
He worked for Hired for so long, I thought he was hired.
That's like thinking, 20 years there too, man.
And I'm thinking, they never did do him right. And, I knew that, but I knew it ahead of time because I used to sit on their board, years ago. And I saw the games they were playing at that level. And I excused myself from the board because, I understood the game they were in was pimping and pandering. And I happened to know that game very well. So I understood what they was doing. So I'm like, nah, I'm not in it for that. So I'm going to let y'all do, okay, y'all. And they just want to use my face to support the fact that they wanted. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I've been a criminal long enough. And so then James is trying to work for him. You get it? And so, I never was, I always had them as suspects. But James, he wasn't that. He was the real deal in the middle of like Jonah in the whale's mouth. Oh, y'all didn't hear that. And then look, and then ultimately, James continued to try to buck up against the whale. It's very difficult to do. Ultimately the whale is spit you out. And that's what has happened. But what you accomplished while you were there, man, you helped so many people. We can't even remember all the names, right? We can't remember them all. And so I just want you to, with that reading, is saying, take that thing that was what you did and put that on the scale and balance that out. Not who they were and not who they was trying to be and not who they say they are now, but who you were in your heart for your clients and the people who came to you, man. You were right there and kind, helpful, overly helpful, driving people to employment, working on their resumes, thousands. We can't even count the number. And some of those people are living professional lives right now on the strength of your efforts. So that reading, I think, is excellent one for you. And that you pick out that particular section, to me, only speaks to the desire for peace that your own heart is after. Allow it to be so.
Yep. I'm looking to try to make an independent contractor mark in 2021 going on with some of the same skills that I picked up there.
and some mentoring also. So
Absolutely.
I'm setting up all those little pieces right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like after the vaccinations are down and done, I'll be able to get out and move around and exercise some of the connections I got.
Give James some dap.
Right.
Somebody else jump in.
Hey, can I have
Go ahead.
somebody interpret
Go ahead.
Proverbs 4:23 for me?
Go ahead. Pull that down.
Can you someone interpret that for me?
Yeah. Eric, you want to do that?
Interpret the proverb on the top of the page, 4:23. What that mean?
Mm-hmm.
What is that basically saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody?
Yeah, let me go to the board. So, watch this. Can y'all turn that screen down so they can see me? Yeah, they can see me looking right here. Okay, look, I just want to show you, this is what your heart looks like.
Okay.
And this is roughly what the brain looks like. The brain weighs 3.5 pounds. Watch this. The brain only uses what you tell it is necessary. It throws everything else away. So when you hear older people say, oh, I can't remember, it's because you haven't been using the knowledge or the information. It's not that you don't have it, but your brain is cast it aside to maintain its 3.5 pound weight. That's just some science. Now, the heart, mind you, holds the issues of your heart. The heart holds your emotions. Your brain holds your thinking. And we're going to also add logic. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what the reading is saying there is to read it.
Keep thy heart with all
Stop
diligence.
right there. Keep thy, that means mine.
Yeah.
Thy equals mine, M-I-N-E. Say mine.
Mine.
So it says, keep my
heart.
What does heart mean?
Emotions.
Keep my
emotions.
So now, under emotions, you got to look at what all falls under that. Under the emotions falls love, hate, joy, pain, sorrow, forgiveness. I could go on, but all of these things are harbored in the heart, which contains your emotional quotient, your EQ. Your brain is your thinking and your logic that holds your IQ. I'm teaching good, but you ain't saying nothing.
Yes, sir.
Watch this. And so man, watch this. Sometimes, Umar, sometimes in your mind, you should leave that one girl alone. And logically, you knew that was true. But your emotions overrule that. I'll wait for all the amen. Your emotions overrule that. And so you don't realize that your emotion is a thinking organism on its own. And your mind says, don't mess with her. Your emotions say, I'm going over there tonight. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
and so you're fighting the good fight of faith. Watch this. Whew, I love this. And so what you really have to do is cause your emotional quotient and your intelligence quotient to begin to work together.
Right.
When those two things are working together, then it makes the second part of the proverb true. Now read the second part. Keep your heart with
all diligence.
Stop right there. See, the diligence is the effort that it takes for you to bring these two things into one.
Right.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to pass it. Hand up in here. Watch this. Watch this. Read the second part. The last part.
For out of it are the issues of life.
So out of the emotion, the heart, flows all of these issues: marriage, divorce, and you'll notice that these things are opposites.
Right.
The opposite of love is
hate.
The opposite of joy is
pain.
The opposite of marriage is
divorce.
Yeah, these things run parallel, where you end up having to make a decision about how you're going to operate. Are you going to allow the fact that you are in hate about the woman who ran off with your money and your car last time? That's a lot, right? Or are you just going to be diligent about your understanding and allow the love that you have for a woman to come forward? Otherwise, you're going to hold the woman in your face, listen to this, hostage for what that girl did. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Wait a minute. And she might steal your money. Hey, she'd steal your jewelry. Anybody ever had that? People run off with you.
Yeah.
Watch this. Watch this. So then you got to say, wait a minute, but did you steal my... Did you steal my... Did you steal my heart? Did you steal my emotion? Do I still have that because you hurt me? Daniel, are you listening at this?
I'm listening to you, Pop.
Watch this. You know, Daniel was saying his daughter is coming. Every time Daniel spoke to us since he's been here, he mentions his daughter coming. Because out of the heart flow the issues of his life. Now the question becomes, you love that your daughter is coming. That's your EQ. But are you going to be the father she needs when she gets here? That's your IQ. And if you can mess around here, you can see this one and feel this, but you can't pull out the diligence necessary for you to do this, then the girl is in trouble before she hits it. I'm just telling you the truth.
Amen.
And so now I'm going to show you this in another context. Some of us have left, this is me, have left some of our children for other men to raise. Now, it was fun and games when it was fun and games. But there comes a time when the party is over and there is no more games.
No more games.
When that time comes, you begin to wrestle with your emotions and struggle with the diligence that you should have put on the love of that child many years ago. And now the child is paying for the sins of the father. I'm back to the scripture which says the sins of the father must be paid for by the son or the daughter. And that curse goes back for 3 generations. So that means it's the daughter, the daughter's daughter, and the daughter's daughter, still suffering from you not being able to make a decision about who you were supposed to be here in 2021. Am I making sense to anybody in here?
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I could go all night on this, and I just feel the Holy Ghost pushing me now. I came up here, I was only one person, but I feel like 2 or 3 right now because I feel the Spirit of God is on me. Well, watch this, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'll be done. The whole idea of POP was to demonstrate that over your
Emotions.
you can take personal power. That your personal power is strong enough to raise up over your emotions. That is the EQ. The EQ means emotional quotient. Say emotional quotient.
Emotional quotient.
Your personal power your creator has given you inside of yourself, in your cells, the absolute ability to decide over all of this quandary. That when you decide, he said, well, when I was a child, I had emotions as a child. I treated people like a child. I behaved like a child. But that's the diligence. When I became a man, I put all this foolishness aside. Am I making sense to anybody there?
Absolutely.
And so to the brother's question, which was, can anybody decipher Proverbs 4:23? Is there any question in your mind about it now?
No.
All right, then I rest my case.
No.
I rest my case then.
I love when you run to that board. Boy, this
on.
I just knew that I was having this conversation with my son. I know I was having this conversation with my son earlier. You covered everything that me and him was talking about, and what he was struggles was with, and what he was going on with him. And I knew when I read this, it sounded like
what you was talking about.
Yeah, what we was talking about, but I couldn't get it out just like that.
Yeah.
What I was trying to tell him.
Right.
But it was on that line. Actually, if I could have had that, I was like, now that's what I was trying to tell you, son.
Right. Take a picture of it and tell it to him. And because this, it took many years, but over the years, he had just allowed me to see some things and make some very complex things come back to simplicity so that we can understand them, making them digestible. Right. So anybody who's out there online got any feedback? Curtis, are you still there?
Yeah.
Curtis, I don't know if you could hear what I was saying. I hope you could, but
oh yeah, I heard it. I heard every word.
Yeah, and wow, what we just using this technology all kind of different ways. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So and it was funny how like the Proverbs was one of the topics, because when I was trying to tell him, I mentioned a proverb to him. I was like, well, really, because he was going through a whole bunch of stuff, and I couldn't really explain to him what I was saying. I was like, well, it was like one of these proverbs. I don't know exactly how it go, but at this point in your life, if you can just, like you said, try to simplify it, right? And I was like, find something you like to do. Like that proverb say, toil, eat, and be merry.
Yeah.
And then try to, then like you said, and then try to treat others the way you want to be treated, because it's going to come at a time where you're going to be judged for what you've been doing.
Right.
And so that's what I just had to give them, because I couldn't get all of that out, that's what was on my heart. To say I just couldn't put it out there the way I wanted to.
Right. And so, so that's good, and utilize it, because it's clear right there. Take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. I would sometime I would talk about Duval. Duval will say to me, "Pop, I got in my emotions."
Yeah.
And I love it, because he's consistent. But see, there's going to be a time. And the time is coming when that's not going to be your comment no more. You're the controller of your emotions, not them of you. And when you decide that I control my emotions don't control me. When you make that decision, all of it is going to shift in your favor. It's not that we don't still have emotions. It's just that I'm not letting how I feel about Fred from way back in '89. I'm not letting that bother me today. I'm not going to allow that to steal my joy for today. Does that make sense? Even though there are some natural hurts, like with Esau's experiencing the separation of his father, and what he's even experiencing, that's deep enough, but he's also experiencing what it is your own mortality. So because when you lay your father to rest, he is actually showing you something that you really don't want to learn.
I was forced to learn.
But the fact that he was around to show you that is what has you going after your auntie and your grandmother that way, because he left you with an assignment without having to say nothing, but you are assuming the responsibility, assuming the position, right, of responsibility as a man. And when you first came home some years back, and you was telling me, Pop, I met this girl, Pop, this is how it's going to be, Pop, it's like this, it's like this, because you were in your feelings, you were in your emotions. And I couldn't, even though I was trying to say, son, you know what? This is going to pass. It's okay to enjoy it, but enjoy it and allow it to pass. Mm-hmm. This comes to pass. And so now that person passed out of your life, and the kind of emotions you had in that day are different than the kind that you have on this day. And you're able to use your gifting in a more cognitive way that's allowing you to make clearer decisions, both emotionally and intellectually. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, this is why I was so worried about Sherrod, because I could feel when he would get online, he's driving, he's online, I know he's looking for a place. I didn't send him to a couple of places. Usually I have real good success with getting my guys in places. I wasn't having the same kind of success with Sherrod as I normally have. It was bothering me. That was, it was working me, because I'm up here in my place. I'm sleeping comfortably. I'm not sure where he's sleeping comfortably. And that makes me uncomfortable, man. And so I'm up here saying, man, and then he started, missing a couple of groups. And I'm like, what this spells for me is trouble. So I'm just so glad for you to be here tonight. I know how much was on your plate. And sometimes if you could let a little bit of the helium out of that balloon, we don't have to let it down, but just take some of the hot air out. I don't hear nobody in here, but I'm teaching good tonight. But we can let some of that hot air out. The balloon stays afloat, and you're able to process better. And this is why I always tell you, if you give me $100 and a few minutes, I'm coming up with another idea. Mm-hmm. Somebody jump in.
Shane,
go ahead.
They talk about there is no real coincidence. Well, the prior lessons of the Acts of Faith spoke on being sincere in your intentions, taking ownership, and cutting the crap.
Wow.
And now that leads right into tonight, some of the trappings that could prevent you from cutting to the chase and being truthful and being real about that too, kicking it to the curb and taking ownership, being sincere, and making your goals. So it wasn't just tonight. It was in about 2 to 3 weeks back where it started going up this ladder of, where you should be and what you can encounter on the way and how to deal with it and where it should land you.
Right.
It was what I get out of it as I listened to what tonight's lesson was.
Right. And, again, this is where what I was just sharing with you all about the partnership that we had with the city doing COVID testing. I didn't get into that partnership. We didn't get into that partnership asking them for no money. What I want out of it is test pop guys. See, so my really thing is keeping pop guys free and safe. I wouldn't be involved in COVID-19 except for this thing don't keep you safe. And if it don't keep you safe, then you got my attention over here. And now I done got all, now this thing it's like, I can't tell you, but my mind or just sucks it all up. I just got something turned like a vacuum. It's just like, I'm turning all this stuff on and say, I want to know everything about this because I want to keep these Negroes safe. That's my whole role. If I didn't, I would be letting you down. And I don't want to be responsible for letting you down. That's not what he called me here for, was to let you down, to say, wait a minute, come on over here. I'm going to show you where the hole is at so we can all jump in. I'm trying to tell you, no, I see that hole and we ain't going there.
There it is. There it is.
And so that's kind of what is the motivator there. But somebody else online, I don't know if Will is still there. Doug, if you're still there. Eric, I haven't heard from you. What's up?
He said he was going out to try to.
Oh, that's right. Catch his wife
after the
and
sign.
Daniel, are you there? What you got? Okay, so look, somebody in here inside. Esau, what you got?
Yeah, it's always a lot when you're dealing with your mind and your heart, because that's your whole being in a sense.
It is.
But you taught us to think, the ability to think a thought and take a positive action step.
Right.
And make that decision, stick with it, set your goals.
Right.
And that'll be your day.
That's
and do the same thing the next day.
That's right.
And then you look up, you have all these positive attributes and steps, and you like, dang, how did I get this far?
Mm-hmm.
Because my first 2 years out was turmoil and ups and downs and restrictions. This can't do that. I remember one time we was at North Point. They was like, you got 12 minutes to get back here. I was like, Pop, we can't make it from North Point to Southside in 12 minutes. Right. He was like, yes, we can. But
I forgot that.
Yeah, that's stress that boiled up inside of me. And now I'm deciding, like, man, I shouldn't even bother with this. I shouldn't try to do that. I should just tighten up. No, it's a freedom to think and it's freedom to feel.
Yeah, right.
And so loving someone who is being themselves is very hard to do, because they're not always in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's in the feelings, they're in some type of frustration, some stress, and they shooting it at you.
Mm-hmm.
But the ability to recognize that brings that empathy, that emotion, like, okay, I was there too.
Yeah.
I was there too. You ain't talking to me.
Right.
You're talking to whoever hurt you.
Yeah, come on.
But I understand.
Oh, come on. That boy's talking good. That boy's talking good there.
And so that's one of the hardest things in life to do, is accept people who they are and what they doing, because it's not always nice. And so I was just recalling this little you must honor the ways of those who came before you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really reflected on my pops. And I seen that Black Messiah about the Black Panthers and Fred Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
And my father was in the Black Panthers for a while in the 60s. He told me about that.
Right.
In Chicago, Southside Chicago.
Right.
And but one of the things he said, he's like, yeah, to be a revolutionary, you got to put the people before you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the revolution before the people, is the people that sparks the revolution of change of society, with something that's so awfully wrong that we got to band together, unite to make that change.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, it's like, I took that away from that movie with all the other stuff, but it's like, how do you want to affect that change in your life?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. So let's unpack that though. First of all, he's talking about the new movie, which is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Judas and the Black Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is of the Fred Hampton and the Chicago faction of the Panthers, and then the ultimate J. Edgar Hoover called for the assassination of this 21-year-old brother, whose heart was so pure. That's why what Esau's analysis was that, as you know, he really believed, in putting the people first. In the meantime, though, there was a brother, a Judas brother, that slid up on him and got too close and cost him his life, and some other people, Mark Clark and other people, their lives. And even I think now is the 50th anniversary of Fred Hampton's assassination. But if you think about it carefully, I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just saying the same spirit that ran up there and assassinated Fred Hampton is the same spirit that assassinated George Floyd. The same spirit that assassinated George Floyd is the same spirit you saw crawling up them walls at the Capitol. I'm gonna tell you this, for those people who are artists, when I saw them people crawling up the sides of the walls of the Capitol, it seemed like they were changing into creatures to me. And in my eyes, I kept seeing like they started out as people, and then they was walking over that fence. But then as they was getting closer, they started looking more reptilian. And by the time I looked up, they was climbing up them walls just like a reptile. And I was thinking, here is the spirit that we're fighting against. Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to take you that deep, but watch this. Watch this. Hey, Chris, it hit Chris so hard he had a Charlie and a Willie horse. But anyway, y'all gotten quiet on me. I think I done ran you off and stuff. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run you out of here. So I'm gonna calm down. Let me just pump the brakes a little bit. Everybody gone now. Umar, the only one left, him and James. You know how to run everybody out of town. Look, we're gonna try to get out of here. It's a little bit cold, but I'll predict to you before the end of this month, it's gonna be 45 degrees. Before the end of February, it's gonna be 45. Watch this. By the time you meet with us next week, you know that snow's gonna be melting, this and that, but be 45 before the end of this month. We're gonna get out of here and we're gonna pledge out. So if y'all don't mind grabbing the pledge, do you have this, the time of reckoning? Let me just read this again about tomorrow. The time of reckoning is a series of community engagement and healing justice sessions that culminate in a Black-led town hall and policy action roundtable focusing on the criminal justice system and its collateral consequences. The culminating event will include local policymakers who have the power of influence to implement the recommendations brought forth by the community through this process. Convened by the community and co-chaired by Dr. Brittany Lewis of Research Action and Dr. Joy Lewis of Joy Unlimited. This work was spurred by the murder of George Floyd at the hands of the Minneapolis police. This process is an opportunity for true radical reimagining, I should say, of what is possible in our collective efforts to advance racial justice. That's going to be tomorrow at noon to 3 p.m. So if you got a chance to get on Zoom, the address is online right there, right now. If you got a chance to get on Zoom, let's do it. Let's see, can we grab each other right here real quick? We small but mighty. Say, I am.
I am.
Somebody. That's it. I will.
I will.
I will. Family values.
Balance my family values
with my goals.
my goals.
I will.
I will.
Exercise wisdom. What I choose to eat.
What I choose to eat.
Read and do. I will.
I will.
Strive to make all relationships. And associations. Win-win. No deal. I will. Under every circumstance. Maintain a positive attitude. I will. Enjoy my life. Sense of humor. Taking advantage of opportunities. And learning from my misfortunes. I will. Act upon circumstances. Rather than have them act upon me. I will. Daily basis. Be proactive with my goals. I will. Always protect my God-given wisdom. My health. My happiness. I am.
Somebody.
I will
Principle
centered,
stay principle centered,
maintain a positive circle of influence.
maintain a positive circle of influence.
I will
Will
daily learn,
daily learn,
Commit,
and do
I
it.
will
I will
act according to the POP Leadership Institute,
act according to the POP Leadership Institute,
productive in my community
be productive in my community
and my private life,
private
because
life.
I'm a bad man.
I'm a bad
All right, now give somebody some love up in here.